What's up, guys? I'm Dan.
And I'm Jasmine.
Welcome back to Speaking Through the Gray, episode number 4. We're going to talk about seeking God through music.
Speaking through the gray. Speaking through the gray. Speaking through the gray. How did it happen?
All right, guys, welcome back to Speaking Through the Gray. Super excited to be able to talk about this topic of seeking God through music. And our second guest of this podcast, which is another member of So Much Hope Buried, Derek Nowak.
Yeah! How's it going? Wow, that's too much.
That really goes
long.
on for a very long
Really
time.
long.
We're going to have to work on that, edit that down a little bit.
No, I liked it. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely.
Excited, man. Yeah.
Very grateful. to be
Yeah,
here.
dude. For sure. There's obviously so much to get into. First off, we just want to talk about So Much Hope Buried's new album, just released about 3 weeks ago. And what's
Yes,
the
sir.
reaction been? How's the general public been reacting to it?
Yeah, I've had a lot of had a lot of friends reach out to me, and it's all been very encouraging words, and we build up a good following on Spotify to where a lot of people have been like going into their release radars.
Oh,
and,
that's cool.
and so it just going on like the Spotify for Artists like app.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see like when there's like 4 or actually just probably like 4, but like
Yeah.
when it gets up to like 20 to like 25 people listening
Yeah.
at once.
Wow.
That's just a really like cathartic
Yeah.
feeling.
yeah, no.
I love that so much.
It's like all that work you put into it, and you're like seeing the fruits of it by
Yeah.
it getting out there.
It's good to know that like people like it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and it was very nerve-wracking releasing it because we've been playing these songs for so long, and but yeah, it's really great feeling to finally release that out to the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I know one of the songs. Which one is the one where there's the screamer in it from Japan?
That's Vacant Home.
Yeah. So
It's the
have you
first song
had
on
a
the
little
album.
bit of a like uptick or following from Japan from that?
Yeah. Twitter is actually a really big, platform where we get a lot of, I wouldn't say fans, but people from Japan,
Yeah.
who are big fans of Mochinaga, who is featured on that song, and they on Twitter they like, I guess they kind of just like share a lot of that specific song
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Twitter,
yeah.
and
Oh,
I
wow.
actually today I just reposted something that somebody shared.
Oh wow.
And it was all in like Japanese, and it's just really really cool to see that overseas, and people are just checking out our music. And I feel
Yeah.
like if we ever toured in Japan, that would be absolutely insane.
It would
Yeah,
be.
dude.
And sorry saying that, but
No, you're a singer.
but
That's,
I mean that's true.
that's what we brought you here to do, actually.
I'm
Yeah.
Go
actually
ahead
singing.
and
Yeah.
start.
I wasn't ready for this, but if you say so.
Yeah.
Trying to think of a song.
Yeah.
I don't want another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to hold. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
But,
But copyright
I
strikes.
think that's in
Aaron Carter or
Jesse McCartney.
Jesse McCart? Yeah.
I just had to. That was just right off the top of the
Yeah,
brain. But
dude.
but what was I talking about? It's great.
Japan.
It's great
Touring in
Yes,
Japan.
I want to tour in Japan,
Yeah.
and I think it would be awesome for him to like come up on the first
Oh my gosh.
song.
How
do
big
a-
is their following in Japan? Do you know? Are they like
It's-
decently big?
they have a good following on social media, but it's not like anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's one reason why I would love. I wanted to do that because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share their music
Yeah.
with
People
our
in the
country.
US too, yeah.
Right. And
It's like back and forth beneficial for everybody.
right, but like if you go on their Instagram, they're called Fall of Tears,
Mm-hmm.
and if you go on their Instagram, like every show they play shows like every week.
Really?
Wow.
Every week, and the room is packed. So
Yeah.
I think it's just a huge community that they have over there, and it's really cool. And I'm so grateful to be able to share like, or to just have him, be a feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be able to connect with him.
And how did the whole thing go about? Like,
Yeah.
how did you guys connect? And like, how did that whole thing go about? Like, did you guys actually get to talk to him? Like, does he speak English at all, or?
He told me that he uses like a translate app.
Oh, okay.
But it works.
Yeah.
And he sounds like he basically knows what he's talking about, and it works really well back and forth. But yeah, no, I had a season in my life where I was just constantly diving into the melodic hardcore bands, and
Yeah.
and I found a lot of bands through that, and they were one of them because I started branching off to like Japanese melodic hardcore bands, and there's a huge following of that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Cool.
and
I know in like Australia, I've seen a lot. Like they have a huge like melodic hardcore scene, but like I haven't thought about other countries that
Yeah.
might have like a decent following for that.
Like I have a playlist on Spotify if you want to check it out, but it's literally
yeah.
just melodic hardcore, Japanese melodic hardcore bands,
Dude.
and it's not a big playlist, but I would love to like keep adding to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I start to realize that melodic hardcore is also, there's a lot of faith based and religion within that as well, which is really cool. And that's a lot of spoken poetry in the melodic hardcore scene, and that's kind of what created So Much Hope Buried.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's where I found that band, through the internet.
Yeah.
Of just diving into specific genres that no one knows about and should know about.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna have to text me the link to that for sure.
Yeah,
You
and-
always send me. We always send music to each other back and forth, which I love doing, which is great.
I love that. And I have a melodic hardcore playlist on Spotify that just hit 2,000 freaking likes, which is
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
Cool.
So I'm getting a lot of following from that, and also it's helping our music as well.
Because you guys are on the playlist
Yeah.
too. Yeah, nice.
Even if we were like reggae or something, I would still put it on there.
Yeah. People do that on YouTube all the time because, like, for our church, I'll put up I'll look for a playlist like best Christian or best worship songs 2024, and it's so funny because it's so sad, but like you have to actually check what's in the playlist because people will just throw their random song.
Right.
But I'm not gonna lie, like there's some terrible, like not like inappropriate. It's just like
It's like not good.
Not
You just
good.
threw it in
Right.
there.
I have a specific like genre or sound that I want to put into this playlist.
Yeah.
And I have random people messaging me, "Yo, put my song into your playlist. I think it
Oh,
would fit
wow.
perfectly." And I listen to it, and it's just like nothing.
Yeah.
Like, did you listen to the playlist, dude?
yeah, this
you
has
just
nothing to
wanted
do
out
with
there.
this.
I actually do that. I put their song in my playlist anyway, just to help them.
Oh,
So-
that's nice.
You're a nice person, even though you just
Nah,
like
stop
publicly
it.
slam their music.
No, I didn't say it was bad. I just said it was just nothing like I actually enjoy a lot of the bands that reach out to me, and I was like, no way.
Good.
So
Yeah.
it's very cool.
So
yeah.
you talked about faith-based bands. So our next question is: So Much Hope Buried a Christian band, or a band that has lyrics pointing towards God, or have a religious undertone?
Yeah. So I think, well, my dad always says that we should be on a Christian record label. But I do agree.
I love your dad, by the way. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's just like me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can see that. I can see how we can be considered a Christian band. But like you said, with that second part of the question was, yeah, we have just religious undertones.
Okay.
Like some aspects that can be relatable. But I think it's more of just like having the mental illness part as well as like religious undertones.
Okay.
Because somebody who's listening can relate to either or.
Yeah.
And I think that can really expand audiences
Yeah.
and help people
Yeah.
going through.
There's so many people
whatever
going
they're
through mental illness right now.
Yeah.
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 So that's a great question. And,
Yeah.
and I constantly think about that, and people ask me that all the time. And yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. And I think that like there's a lot of bands, especially bands that we're huge fans of, that were like, some are like outright Christians, some are just like Christians in a band that happen to write lyrics that point in that direction. You know what I mean? Like, like you look at like Reliant K, well,
Yeah,
they're like, they're
exactly.
pretty famously known as a Christian band, but their audience is generally pretty diverse outside of that.
And their lyrics are kind of similar to like well, I do probably base a lot of my inspiration off of him,
Yeah.
off of Matt Thiessen. But yeah, it's kind of like similar to like, it's not like talking is too deep into that, you know, but it has those undertones to their music as well. Like you can listen to it. I mean, there's some songs that are, you know, kind of out there, like, you know, showing that. But
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Definitely.
I wish I can write like him though.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, like literally when I first started writing music, I had like, it's so cheesy. So you remember like Never Shout Never?
I do.
Yeah.
I think I only know one song by them, but if you
Yeah.
sang it right now, I'd be like, no way. I remember
Trouble,
that.
maybe. I'm in trouble. I'm an addict.
No.
He had a bunch of those. They were like
there
real.
is one though. It's like a sappy love song.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I covered.
Do they
a
have
bunch
a lot
of
of
stuff. Yeah. It was pretty much like one guy. I forget what the guy's name is. It was just super cheesy, but I enjoyed it, and it was like that typical like scene kid acoustic music. But it was like anyway. So like I started writing stuff like around that style. And I
Yeah.
had the name was Just for Kicks, and it was just the number 4 and KIX.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
awesome.
super proud of it, but
No, I'm proud of it. I'm hearing about it now, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah. It's actually the director of the camp I worked at actually came up with the idea for the name, and I just held on to it for a couple of years, and then like did it like later on. But a lot of the stuff I was writing early on, people are like, "This sounds like Reliant K inspired," and I'm like, that is actually the greatest compliment you
That
could ever
is,
give me.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's funny because like other music I've tried to do, like, I've always enjoyed trying different types of genres and styles. And when I first started talking to Jasmine, I actually shared this, I think, on Eric's podcast one time, but I took it was an instrumental beat from like a Lil Wayne song, and I actually wrote lyrics to a rap and recorded it and put it on YouTube. And you know, my friends who probably don't know rap that well were like, "Oh, it's pretty good." And I thought it was like decent. I showed her.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. It
Yeah.
was super bad. Before we even officially
To me, it
started
was.
dating, she's like, "You should probably take this off the internet and make sure it never sees the light of day again."
Wow.
And I was like, I think that's when I realized I'm like, she's gonna be honest with me for, you know, right out the gate. So this is
Yeah.
probably good.
I didn't say the lyrics were bad.
Yeah, well,
I'm interested now. Yeah, and I want to hear it.
dude, it's probably so cringe, and I don't even know. It's probably on a laptop that doesn't even work anymore for a good
Yeah.
reason. I
For
think
a
God
good
might have smited the laptop just to
my
like
gosh.
say, "Don't release this music." But yeah, it's interesting. Like, do you have? This isn't even in the questions, but like, do you have like different phases of like, right? Because your whole family is musical, like as far as your brothers and everything.
Yeah.
Do you have like different phases of writing music where you look back and you're like, ooh, or
My
has
God,
it all?
yeah. Dude, it's insane. Like my album Refraction of Light that came out in 2017, and that's not. I mean, I guess it's kind of long. It's not that long ago if you think
No.
about it.
It's weird though, because like that's the year that we met. I
Really?
think. Yeah, because it was that. Yeah, that was the year I moved back to Northeast PA.
Yeah, so Refraction of Light, that's all like basically all songs that I've written growing up. Like I think Fall Down Again is the first song I've ever written. And when I listen to it now, like it's so bad. I can hear all the bad in it, but I can also hear all of like my writing will never be like that again. And it was very proggy.
Okay.
And now when I listen to it now, when I know more about like music theory, I don't know too much, but it's very complicated. But when I listen to it now, I'm hearing specific things like rhythms.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, am I doing a polyrhythm in this one part?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
if I'm changing the key, but I'm like modulating through different keys. And then then my brother laid some French horn on there, and Mike and Sweeney,
I was wondering who did that,
recorded
yeah.
that album.
Nice.
He put a lot of basically wrote a lot of like the background vocals and harmonies and stuff, and it's just a big collaboration. And yes, I hear all the terrible in it, but I also take it like what it is, and it's very underrated.
Yeah.
But I just obviously didn't promote it correctly because I know how to do that now.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. Like you got to listen to it. I don't know if you ever did, but
Oh,
you
dude,
have to listen
ton.
to it. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I have
And-
the physical copy and streamed it on
Yeah.
Spotify. But the one,
so good.
I told you the one reminds me of that that old song Changes. the one that Tupac sampled back in the day. That
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, like
That's a big inspiration.
Which one is
right now.
Is that Autumn? No,
Autumn Leaves.
is that the song?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I
never
that.
even listened to. Is it Hornsby? Bruce Hornsby in the. Yeah, Bruce Hornsby.
The original song.
Yeah. I never even heard of him or his music and The Range, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Bruce Hornsby and The Range.
Yeah.
And I recently discovered that song that you're thinking
Yeah.
of, which I am drawing the name. I'm
Changes.
blank
I think.
off.
Isn't it?
Well,
That's just the way it is.
yeah, that's the
Something
way it
that
is.
change?
Yeah. And I've recently discovered that song because I am at work. I just hear 80s music or 70s and 80s music all day. And it's terrible, actually.
Cardio
but,
playlist.
But that song with the grace notes in his piano playing and he's incredible, and that really inspired me. And my newer music, like Focus and Coping, is like straight inspiration from Bruce Hornsby and The Range.
Yeah, dude.
I think that's what they're called.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you like see your growth throughout the years, gotten stronger.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I hear it, and I'm starting to. I mean, I'm mainly just writing for So Much Hope, but yeah, back in the Refraction of Light, that's basically just my discography. That whole album is just like what I used to play when I was a kid, like younger. And then I just basically just put all the songs together and then created like a concept album, which is cool. But yeah, it's bad, but it's also like extremely interesting because I knew nothing about music and music theory and specific things. And now when I listen back to it, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I knew how to do all that stuff without knowing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like either the way I was raised, or it could be, God speaking through me and just giving me this talent that I don't know how or why I know it. It's just my dad, my family, my mom and dad just blasting music in my ears when I was just an infant. So it's very...
Starts young.
Yeah.
So,
no doubt.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And do you think, and another question that's not on the list that we were talking about earlier, but like surrounding yourself with other musicians and different people, like especially all your friends in the band, like do you think that has impacted your writing and like kind of driven you, like it's like that kind of concept, like the people we surround ourselves affect how we live our lives and our success and all that?
Well, my brother Dylan is like the best. Like I wouldn't like his songwriting is not very like cookie cutter and like straightforward. Yeah. It's very like progressive and like different. And when I still listen to some of his songs that he's made that mainly that was for like the new generation of my old band Hybrid Sessions, and they're like it blows my mind every time I listen to it. Like today still like and that will never be released, and that's kind of a crappy thing. He'll never release those songs. But when I listen to them now, or I watch a video where we're playing it live, I'm just like, those like that can change the world. Those songs can change the world. And I mean, if he just wants to give me the songs, I mean, I'll just go to Eric's studio and just do it.
Release it.
But no, it's just those were back in the day, and obviously we're making new. But did I dodge your question, or did I?
No. Yeah, you answered like the people you surround yourself with impacts your music.
And then Andrew and Eric are just like, I'm so grateful and blessed that they're in my life now, because Andrew has a specific style of writing, and Eric does too. So like, it's just so cool to like
comes together.
Like I branch off to like 8-minute songs that you're like, is this gonna be over soon? And then like Andrew was just like, verse, chorus, bridge, end. Like really simple songwriting, but like the best songwriter I know.
Yeah.
He is the best songwriter.
Because he knows how to squeeze the juice out of it, like make every second count in those parameters. You know what
exactly,
I mean?
Yeah. And then Eric is also like a phenomenal songwriter, and he can do some crazy intricate stuff with a guitar, and then also the drums. He's like the most talented person I know.
He really is.
All right, so how would you describe your current relationship with God? I know it's a deep one.
It's a very deep question. And so I tend to write about God and faith. It's weird because like I really want to write songs on how I struggle with that, with faith. And I have before, in my one song called Seeking, that's about me trying to find faith. But every time I write, it seems to be about like happiness and like, striving. We're just kind of like looking, we're just knowing that God is there and helping me. And it's never negative. It's never, me like wanting to have more faith. It's more of just like, he's there for me and I know that he cares about me. And it's very interesting because like, I don't always feel that way, but when I write music, it just kind of comes out that way. And I don't really think about it. But when it comes to like the mental illness factor of my songwriting, that's kind of easy to sing about and like write about, and more write about. Yeah. And obviously I draw inspiration from other bands, and like read how they write, and obviously, form it off of like something original, obviously. But yeah, I always seem to sing about God, and so I like to see he kind of speaks through me through music, and I think that's a beautiful thing as being that the name of this podcast episode. And yeah, I think it's beautiful, and I really do struggle with faith. But I do, live life the way that I never read the Bible. And I probably should have like read it really fast before this, but it's more just like but,
it's a little big of a book to cram in real quick.
I try to be the best person I can be, and I mean that's basically it. Like I write songs, and it seems to be very faith based, and I also, struggle with faith. But it's just really interesting.
Yeah.
That I have that faith when I'm writing music, but then again, when I'm not, it's just more of just like, I'm going to be the best person I can be and do everything I can to love everyone. And be very kind and not be selfish. And think about others. And I want to do that more.
And I think that like when you look at the fact that like God has given each person a purpose and gifts and abilities. So like I feel like as you are engaging in one of the biggest gifts that God has given you, which is music and your ability to write, it's like that's where he's trying to speak to you, and you're seeing glimpses of that. And it's like, obviously like you don't have to know the entire Bible, cover to cover, but like I feel like as you do that, like, that guy you work with who randomly like started talking to you and all that, like all those things keep music is like that guide of like God's trying to bring you closer. Cause like even when you look through like Psalms, like as like David is like speaking, it's like 1 second it is a happy like thing, and then the next it's like, God, I'm drowning, like I need your help.
Right.
But like that whole like all through the Bible, it's all about like all these stories of like disaster and calamity and all these things that like bad things have happened, but like it's all about like the road to redemption. And like and in the Old Testament, all of that points back to Jesus, which is the focal point, because like with the Old Testament, everything was about like the trying to earn your forgiveness through sacrifices and all the different things, but like it was all pointing to the fact that we couldn't do enough to save ourselves, that we needed Jesus to be that redemption, to be our savior, to be able to forgive us of our sins, because otherwise we couldn't do it on our own. Like we couldn't do enough good. We couldn't, change that path or our trajectory for our future, for eternity without Jesus. And it's like the more I see you writing and the more, and like literally we both went through the lyrics and we're reading them, and that'll be like Jasmine's next question is about one of the songs. But cool. But yeah, I don't know. And I think one of our first conversations back in 2017 was about God and about Jesus. It's like, and I love seeing you write, and I'm always praying like more and more for like God to show himself to you. And I'm glad that like through lyrics and through writing that he's doing that. And then seeing how God put people in your path. Do you mind sharing that a little bit as far as like the story of the guy at the car dealership and how that all unfolded?
Yeah, his name is Josh, and he's like the best car salesman in Motor World. And
Shout out to Josh.
Yay,
Yeah.
Josh.
and he's just a really nice guy. Like every interaction with him, he's just so like calm and nice and friendly. And you know, we've you know said hi in passing, but one day, like I guess somebody told him that I was in a band, and he wrote it on like a little sticky note to buy Derek's album. And he didn't even know. He didn't even listen to anything. He was just like, I'm just gonna support this dude. And he comes over to my desk and he's like, hey, here's some money. I want to buy your CD. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, great, awesome, cool. And then he goes, he's very busy. Like I said, he's like constantly selling, constantly working. And one day, it's a Monday morning, and he comes over to me and he's like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna buy your album, and then whenever you're free, we can hop in one of these, you know, in one of these cars, and you show me your favorite song. And I'm like, wow, let's just do that now. And he's like, okay. So we went into the Lexus IS 350 luxury with the Mark Levinson sound system.
Still going.
And it's kind of like it's
Shameless plug.
It's a job. You know, it's a
Today's
job.
sponsor is Lexus. No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh, let's not do that. And they're great cars.
Yeah, they
but
are.
no, we sat in the car and you know, we were talking for a little bit, and then I turned on the album, and I turned on my favorite song, "Lucid," and we ended up just listening to the entire record, and we were in that car for like an hour, and he was just like talking to me about my lyric content, and I found out he was very religious, and
Wow.
and he was listening to my lyrics, and he's like, does this, you know, mean something? And you know, and I was like, yeah, and he like just like went all out and just talking to me and using my lyrics to like to kind of bring me closer to, you know, God. And
Wow.
and I never like really thought of that. So that's another really great thing for one of the questions that you asked, like how's the album,
How people are responding.
how
to the
people are
album. Yeah.
responding to it. And it's crazy. People are finding things in my album that like in my lyrics and in the songwriting that I never would have thought. Like not really songwriting, more the lyrics. Like somebody at our release show, I think it was Tyler from Escape Artist. He brought up, I really want to talk to him about it, but he brought up how like some of the lyrics in the songs kind of like call back to other moments in the record. And I'm like, what? I didn't intentionally do that, but I would love to talk to you later, but I never got to, but I'll have to message him. But
Maybe we can zoom him into the meeting.
let's get in here. No. We sat in that Lexus car for a long time, and he talked about one song, "Worry About Me," and he
my
sat
favorite
there.
song.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I thought that was going to be the most skipped song, but but like he put his hand on my shoulder, he prayed for me, and the way he was speaking so fluently about how Jesus worries and cares about me, and he's bringing in this like subtleties of my lyrics and putting him into this prayer.
Wow.
And it just like blew my mind, and I was like a whole different person after that, sitting in a Lexus IS 350 with the Mark Levinson sound system.
Wow.
And it just blew my mind, and I was like, I just like never would have thought that would happen on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
With the most busiest dude in Motor World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your lyrics are helping others, really.
Yeah, and that's
Think
what I've
about it.
always wanted.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's so
Even with mental
Great.
illness and stuff like that, like
right.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
that worry about me. I text you and explained like how it impacted. It literally brought up something from like a decade ago and like a rough
Yeah.
time I was in.
Yeah.
And it like made me relive it, but process it in a way that I hadn't before. And I was like, that's crazy how lyrics and music together can do something like that. That's so powerful.
And my beautiful fiance wrote some of the lyrics in that song as well.
No way.
She's
That's
also
awesome.
she's going through a lot mentally, and obviously I'm there for her at
Yeah.
all times. But like hearing, I wanted to write a song about what she's going through and try to help her through music, but also I also brought in the some religious undertones into that song as well. That no matter what you're going through, God, Jesus is there, and He worries and cares about you, and that's basically just sums up the song, but
Yeah.
but yeah, she helped with some of the lyrics, and oh my gosh, that song came together so easily and so fast, and I'm very proud of that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So on to the next question. Now we're talking about lyrics.
Okay.
What was your thought process when writing the lyrics from I'd Be Lying to Say I'm Not Weak? I spend my life to see your holy light, the way that you only see the better parts of me. Healing wound when I bleed. I'd be lying to say I'm not weak. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted that chorus to be extremely like powerful, and it is. And the lyrics really resonate with, basically to sum up the whole entire record. And what was my thought process, you said? Like with writing?
Yeah,
or
thought process. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just singing the song in my head and trying to go back to that time when I wrote it.
Take your time.
Or even the overall arching theme of that song or the album itself. Like, to go into that thought process of like, I'd be lying to say I'm not weak, but like, you're still putting redemptive pieces in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like, yeah, what was your like thought process? Was it just like, do you have moments, this might be an interesting thought. Like, do you have moments where you're just trying to like figure out what sounds catchy and writing it?
So yeah, I write the
Or a
melody
mixture
first,
of-
and then I add the lyrics in to kind of match the melody.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I'm trying to think of like, what my thought process was with those lyrics, but really, it's mainly just the concept of trying to see God's holy light. And but also knowing that like every stage of my life, knowing that he heals me when I when I'm down, and also sees the better parts of me.
Yeah.
And I would be lying to say I'm not weak, honestly. But
It's very literal, I guess.
just reading. I guess I'm just yeah.
Shameless plug.
But,
So parried.
But yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, I'm very weak in so many, moments. I'm weak every day, and I think just writing about it, helps me. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think just writing about God, writing about that stuff is just so like such a good feeling, and that's why like I usually listen to like the Christian radio, because it's just so uplifting.
Yeah.
And that's what we need more of. We need more of that stuff in our lives.
Yeah. I love how you're saying like I'd be lying to say I'm not weak to God, because he's the one that's going to give you strength. Because every day, if I'm doing this by myself, I'm definitely weak every day.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Exactly.
Heck yeah. Word.
I love that. I don't know why I said it like that.
You
Probably
said
should have
however you want.
thought before I did that.
All right. Another question. What
Sure.
lyrics have impacted you the most in the process of seeking God or discovering God, however you want to kind of think of that?
So when I read that, I thought about like my lyrics. Is that what you mean, or just lyrics in general?
Lyrics in general. So like
boy.
even like...
Or your lyrics.
Or your
That's
lyrics. Your lyrics. But like other bands too. Like, if you could think of one of our favorites from good old Reliant K, which is one of the biggest reasons we became great friends right out the gate.
Yeah, I didn't start like reading their lyrics until I got a little older and really like contemplating of what he's saying.
Right?
And
I completely identify with that.
I'm completely wrong with every lyric I've sang from him, because the way he like he puts his words together is just like insane.
Yeah.
So there's probably so many lyrics from Reliant K that really connected with me. I just can't think of one right now.
Yeah.
Like I remember the ending of Forgetting Not Slow Down. This is the end. The lyrics in that song are freaking unbelievable. And oh my god. I took the fire escape and made it out alive. Yeah, I still burn from time to time, but I've a healing hand against my side.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's
What was
the
ending?
bridge?
Yeah, the bridge. Oh my gosh.
Because I could spend my life just trying to shift through.
That's
What I
Forgetting
could've
Not
done.
Slow Down song.
Forget
But
Not
this
Slow
is
Down.
this is the end. I've been convincing myself that I'm worthwhile.
Yeah.
Cause I'm worth what I'll convince myself to be. Yeah. So that lyric, I okay. Lyrics, I'm gonna be totally brutally honest with you guys. Lyrics don't really connect with me that much. They really don't. My own lyrics
same.
do. Like my lyrics that I write do connect with me.
Yeah.
And but when I listen to like, you know, Reliant K, I've been convincing myself that I'm worthwhile.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm worth because I'm worth what I'll convince myself to be. Like
yeah.
stuff like that, like the way he writes his words really connect with me and make me want to cry because of how amazing it is.
Yeah. The
and that's-
artistry behind it.
Yeah.
Oh
like
my
there's
gosh.
this one part that yeah, but what good do what ifs do? You know, like stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like it's just like, the way he writes his lyrics are just insane. But when it comes to my music, like everything, like there's some specific lyrics that have a lot of meaning. Like in the new So Much Hope record, there's a song called Lucid that means a lot to me, mainly because of the way it's written. I wrote that all on piano. I think Eric brought that up in the last episode.
Yeah.
But there's a lyric on there it's right in the beginning. It's so hard to be honest. I never really had much to offer you, but all I know is that I want to go back to the moment where I first called out your name. My hands would shake. So like there's so many moments where I would pray to God, and in times of trouble, like it's so hard to be honest to myself about my faith. You know? And I feel like because of my lack of faith, I don't have much to offer him. And that lyric really like speaks to me a lot because, yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And then there's other songs about specific life things, like speaking in poetry. Really,
Yeah.
like there's a specific, lyric in there that says like I'd still answer if you call, and it's about a specific person, but like. It's mainly that like I'm very weak, and no matter what anyone does to me, I'm still, if they call me, I'm going to answer and
Yeah.
talk to them,
Yeah.
even though whatever they did to me was terrible, or you know what I mean. And I'm still gonna call them, and talk to them, and be there for them.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers your question at all, but
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
for
try.
sure.
So let's move on to your goals. What are your goals for the upcoming year in relation to your music? Or year or two?
Year or two.
Or what's your 5-year
I
plan?
think it's just mainly just keep writing records
yeah.
and keep releasing music as much as I can. Try to build a platform, a following, and do as much as I can. I learned this really a lot from Eric. Eric and Andrew both pushed me so much, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here doing this podcast right now. Like it's crazy how much they made me feel so comfortable, and you guys as well. You guys make me feel so comfortable here, and I've never talked this much ever in my life, so I'm very grateful to be here and doing this. But
I'm excited for people to, especially people that are fans that like don't get to see you the way that your friends get to see you. Like try to,
Yeah.
get to see a little bit more behind the curtain.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think what's next for the music wise is keep on creating records and maybe doing some solos. I do have a solo song that I've played a bunch of times, but it's been like 2 years and I still haven't done anything with it, like recorded it. So I'll probably record a new solo song, and as well as probably do another like So Much Hope like single, and just keep writing music, do another So Much Hope album, and do everything I can to face fears
Good.
in my life. Try to do that. I mean, I'm going to do that. Can't say try because then I probably won't do it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
It's true.
I need to do it. And
Sounds like you've been
hopefully that
talking
creates,
to Eric and Andrew a lot.
Honestly,
They're
yeah.
very
yeah.
yeah.
And hopefully me building more confidence in myself and making more life decisions to where I can create more story to write more songs.
Yeah.
And I want to write more personal songs. And I mean, I might have to write a song about my lack of faith, you know? And I do want to do that because it kind of like, it's me, but also like, you know, I want, maybe that might bring me closer to God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Heck yeah. Dude.
Talks
really-
about getting out of your comfort zone. Dan's wearing a faith over comfort shirt.
I love it. Yeah. I'm constantly getting out of my comfort zone. Like,
Yeah.
the last mixing mindsets was, oh my God, what was the word? The word is being very shy on stage. What is that called? I'm very vulnerable. And
Okay.
that's a great topic for me.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm talking a lot more now than on their podcast, which shows you that I've came a long way in the past month or two. So,
Yeah.
so
Well, you were describing how nervous you were to do something like this, and I'm like, dude, you're doing a great job, man.
that's great.
Yeah. Heck
Yeah, I think that's another reason why I want to keep writing music and performing, because I have a lot of insecurities and I'm kind of like nervous all the time. And if I show that I'm nervous, but also trying to be confident, hopefully I can help somebody through that as well. Like, like, oh wow, they're doing that, I can do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I love that.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do is help people if it's through music. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Is it me?
Oh,
no, it's you.
Oh, geez, it is me. Oh, that's perfect.
Our last
Okay.
question.
So the last question. So first off, what is a question you would ask the next guest that we have on the podcast?
I gotcha. Okay. The next question I would ask is if they consider cereal to be soup.
Oh,
I really,
I like that.
You told me you were thinking about that throughout the day, and I'm like, he's either gonna go one direction or the other.
Yep.
Cereal soup.
It is.
Crap, I think you just broke my brain a little bit, to be honest. So obviously we've had only one guest, so we haven't been able to do this whole like ask the next person thing besides Eric. So and I'm hoping I remember it because my phone's plugged in over here in one of these tripods.
I can just send you the question.
Yeah. Oh, did he send it to you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There
I thought
was
you were talking
another
about if you're
question.
gonna
No.
remember my
So
question.
Eric's,
gotcha. Okay.
Eric's question as the first guest asking the next person, which he
Gotcha.
did know was you, but I believe the question was essentially, what are your, which is kind of interesting, what are your goals in the upcoming year in relation to your faith?
I think just being. I think there's a lot of fact in faith, and
Okay.
I want to learn more.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of documentation through thousands of years.
Yeah, there is.
And I just really would love to learn more about it, because like when I just think about the universe, it just really gets me thinking. And there's a documentary that Eric actually showed me. I forget what it's called. But it's basically about like existence and the world and evolution and it's just like, it's insane. When I watch that, I'm just like, it's all like right there in your face, and I just never really noticed it.
Yeah.
And I'm so obsessed with like universe and space, and it's very interesting. And I think that really makes me believe even more. So I
Heck
think just being more, having more knowledge on, because I'm very naive when it comes to any of this, and you guys know what you're talking about. I really just like, oh, I'm having these feelings, but I don't know. so it's I'm really excited to learn more.
Good.
And
Yeah.
We can always help you with
have
your
an
goal.
open mind.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean,
Dan's good with
you
that.
you know you have a friend over here. who can,
True. Yeah.
And the guy at what is Josh, right? At the car dealership? Yeah.
Yeah, he's very
but-
smart with all that
Yeah.
stuff too. So
No, and it's so good because it's like, it's exciting because I feel like people who have known it for a long time can get complacent in it. And like for me, I know that when I share my faith and speak about it, like especially like if I'm preaching, like I could have such a bad week, feel like am I even a Christian? Like I kind of like had a rough week. Like it's like, am I really representing that?
Yeah.
You know, and then but like to get up and then talk about and express that mindset of who God is and how he loves us through that. It's like it builds other people up, but it also like makes you more excited. So, and that's kind of like the whole concept of how the faith started. It's like a small amount of people really just, started sharing it, and then it just is like a wildfire of how like it spreads and impacts the world around us. So, but yeah, dude, I'm excited to have future conversations on that.
Yeah, me too. I wish I had a better like question to give the next person.
No, but that's so much fun.
No, that is actually a really great
It's
question.
a fun question.
Yeah. Great.
Did you come up with that on your own, or was that like a random?
It was the first thing that came into my mind.
I've never even thought about that before.
I thought about cereal and I was like, oh yeah, I think I heard that once, and I was like, I'm just gonna say that.
That
I don't
is
know.
hilarious.
It's brilliant.
Well,
Good.
Derek, thank you so much. Before we wrap up,
Thank
any upcoming shows?
Yes.
Anything? Yes.
Well, actually, there's a couple that I can't really speak of right now, but
Ooh.
tomorrow we're playing at Ink in the Rink, which is a tattoo expo. Which should be really fun because there's
Was it
like
Scranton,
there's Sunbury,
Oh,
Pennsylvania. So
nice.
it's a kind of decent trip, but I'm really excited because it's probably outside. I'm assuming it's outside, and hopefully it's a nice day tomorrow.
Yeah,
but and not like on and off rainstorms. But that should be fun. There's like 25 bands, and there's I actually don't even. I think there's like over 40 artists, like
wow.
tattoo artists that are going. So it'll be really great to like
Get a tattoo.
help get a tattoo, book an
Do you
appointment
have
for
any
tomorrow.
tattoos?
I don't.
Ooh,
But
Tomorrow's the day.
it is honestly.
they're actually. Eric would probably force me to get a tattoo tomorrow.
I'll hold you down.
Yeah. Oh my god. So, but that's exactly paint a photo in your mind. But yeah, tomorrow, and to help the community and help local artists, and if you want to come out to that, it's pretty much all day. I don't know where it is, but it's in Sunbury. Just look it up. Ink in the Rink.
Heck yeah, dude.
Sounds pretty weird, but
And social media, how can people follow you? Got you and your band and music and everything.
yeah, we are on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. iTunes does that still exist?
Yeah, it's there.
Good.
Apple Music.
Apple Music,
YouTube
Amazon
Music.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And then we have somuchhopeburied.com, which we have a whole bunch of brand new merch that Eric's wife, Sarah, did. I'm sure he told you this in the last episode, but it's all incredible work. She's so talented. Eric's so talented. Everyone in my band is so talented. And I'm so grateful. And
Y'all have such a blessed setup to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
all those different
truly,
gifted
truly.
people involved. Yeah.
Yeah, and we also are selling vinyls, which is like the most beautiful thing for me. A lot of people don't care about that, but it matters to me because it's just so amazing to see that somebody in the world can just place a record of So Much Hope and then put the needle on it and then start it,
Yeah.
and then hear all the little cracks and the the fuzziness of it, the authentic sound of it. It's just so amazing. So we have vinyls.
It was a
CDs.
dope experience. That's the first way I listened to it was
Yeah.
probably a month before it came out was listening to it on vinyl at your house, which was
That's
pretty
sick.
cool.
That's awesome.
That
to
was
hear.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things happening with the band. So much happening,
Yeah.
Nice.
and
So
very
that
very excited for the future.
is so much hope, comma, buried. Period.
Period.
Right.
Okay.
So just
Period.
add the
End
comma.
of story.
Yeah. Add the comma. Add the period.
Period.
And it's just stupid artsy.
Yeah.
You know.
Word.
Why not?
Heck yeah. Any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts of don't be afraid to do things that make you uncomfortable, because that's what I'm learning right now, and I'm 29, so I'm starting to learn that to just be more open and don't be nervous all the time, and do things that make you uncomfortable. I think not everything, but but most things that will help grow you as a person, and
Good.
I think that's all I have.
Yeah. All
honestly.
right.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Well, thank you again to Derek
Thank you.
Nowak for coming out, and we're super blessed to have you. Great guest, great conversations.
Great.
All
It's
right,
great
brother.
to hear.
Heck yeah.
Wow. Oh my.
All right, that was a little much.
I think that was
Speaking through the grave.
just the right amount.
Speaking through the grave. Speaking through the grave. How did it happen?